Our topic today is New Year, Same God, how obedience leads to real spiritual breakthrough. What if the breakthrough you're praying for is locked behind obedience? As I reflect on my journey towards personal growth, I've come to realize that obedience plays a critical role in achieving my goals. For me, obedience isn't just about following instructions or rules. It's all about listening to my inner voice and being willing to take action on it. Now, when I'm obedient to my values and priorities, I feel more focused, more driven, more fulfilled. But I've noticed that there are certain barriers that can hold me and you back from being more obedient. One of the biggest barriers I've discovered is fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of what others might think. It's amazing how we often let how fear can creep in and hold us back from taking the next step. I've lost count of number of times I've let fear dictate my decisions rather than goals and aspirations. Another barrier that's held me back is distraction. We all live in a world that's constantly vying from our taking our attention away, and it's easy to get sidetracked by social media, email, or even just the latest Netflix show. And then here's self-doubt, the nagging in our voice the nagging in our voice that tells us that we are not good enough or that we're making a mistake. Fear can also be a powerful motivator, or it can be a huge obstacle. Think back of times when I've let fear hold me back from pursuing my goal or dreams, and I've realized that it was often based on the worst case scenario that never materialized. Now, whenever you and I are stuck in the fear mode, we tend to overthink and analyze every possible outcome and end up paralyzed in our decision. On the other hand, when we are able to push past our fears and take action, we often find the outcome is much more better than what we expected. Distraction, on the other hand, can be sneaky. They don't always feel like obstacles. They still can hold us back from making progress towards our goals. Whenever we are distracted, we tend to focus and get caught up in the moment. We might spend hours scrolling through the social media or getting stuck in a YouTube rabbit hole. And before we know it, the day is gone. Self-doubt is another sneaky barrier that can hold us back. That's the voice in our head that tells us we're not good enough and that we're making a mistake. Whenever we're stuck on self-doubt mode, we tend to second guess ourselves, and we often end up stuck in the analysis paralysis. Now, let us look at some scriptures on obedience. Number 1, 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 22. And the Lord said, and the Samuel said, had the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord. Behold, to obey to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of ram. Number 2, John chapter 14, verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments. Number 3, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command you this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high, above all nations of the earth. Number 4, First James chapter 1, verse 22. Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. But here's the thing, I found that obedience can be very powerful antidote to these barriers. When we are obedient to our values and priorities, we're more likely to take action even if it's scary, and we are more focused and more driven and more resilient. I've seen it play out in my own life when I've chosen the path to push past my fears and take a leap of faith. The outcome has often been transformative, and it's helped me build confidence and momentum. So for me, obedience has been a journey of learning to trust myself and my inner voice. It's been about it's been about developing a growth mindset and being willing to take risk and learn from my mistakes. Now, whenever you and I are obedient, we feel more confident, we feel more connected to our purpose and our values, and we're more likely to make decisions that align with who we want to be. I've also come to realize that obedience isn't a one-time achievement, but rather a daily choice. It's a choice to show up, to take action, to be present in the moment. Now, let me tell you a short story. A certain lady, she called herself Mary, and she says she's waiting on God. But deep down within her, she was just avoiding obedience. She had been nudging her. God has been nudging her for months. Apologize, let go, take the step, trust Him. Instead, she prayed for signs, clarity, and confirmation. Every year, she made fresh resolutions, hoping motivation would do what obedience required. So one quiet morning, she finally obeyed this small voice, this small thing God had been asking her. It wasn't dramatic, no thunder, no instant miracle, just a simple yes. But that yes changed everything for her. Peace replaced anxiety, distraction followed surrender, and she realized the breakthrough she'd been praying for wasn't on the other side of another plan. It was on the other side of obedience. Now let's recap. We've discussed the major barriers of obedience: fear, distraction, and self-doubt. These obstacles can hold us back from achieving our goals and living a more fulfilled life. By acknowledging and overcoming them, we can create a space for obedience to flourish. When we do, we open ourselves up for more purposeful and more driven and more fulfilling year. If you're struggling with these barriers, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. What are some of the obstacles that have held you back from being obedient? Share your stories and let's learn from each other. And if you're looking for more content on personal growth and motivation, be sure to check out my other videos. I'd love to have you join the journey. Remain blessed and Happy New Year.